Alright, here's a battle with Swankle7, who I battled not too long ago, actually. He has another battle here on stream, and this time he requested to do a roulette, which you guys know the rules by now. He only had 31 Pokemon, which is kind of like the bare minimum you need for a roulette. But being that I have a lot, I actually used a website that someone else posted called randompokemon.com make my team, and looking at the team preview, as you can tell, he kind of has the tier advantage here. I got a lot of underused and, well, below underused mons, while he has quite a few OUs on his team and very decent mons. Regardless, I did get Mismagius, which is a Pokemon I obviously adore, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go for the sub, because, you know, I've kind of figured he would switch. There's no reason he would stay in with the Lucario. I do have the Dazzling Gleam on this to hit the Umbreon, and I just go for that because I know that it's going to break my sub with a Dark move. It does, and I go for the sub again. Not many Umbreons do carry Protect, but there are some that do, so I wanted to go for another Protect to see if he does carry the Pursuit. Go for another sub to make sure that he does not carry the Pursuit. I would hate to lose Mismagius this early if he does. It ends up working out really well for me because he ends up trying to go for the Toxic, which, does not go through the sub. So I'm going to be able to get another Dazzling Gleam off on this Umbreon. Obviously, Umbreon is super bulky, and you saw how much the first one did. It's not going to do a whole lot, but any damage is good damage against Umbreon, and I end up critting as well, so that was really nice, as he just goes for another Foul Play, and now I am going to switch. I do not want to stay in again, because he's probably going to maybe predict sub again, so I can't really afford to. It's just going to wear down Mismagius, and I am going to switch, believing now that he for sure probably does not have the Pursuit. So I do switch out, and I go out into my Hitmonchan, which is a Pokemon I don't think I've ever used on Wi-Fi, ever. But I do have one, and here it is. And, I'm just going to go for the Ice Punch. I actually predicted him to switch out this turn into Galurk, which he does carry. I know that due to preview. As he goes for the Protect, and, that's fine. He sees the Ice Punch, so I'm just going to go ahead and switch up to Drain Punch in case he does stay in. He ends up switching out again this turn and goes out into his Metagross, as Drain Punch actually does do a nice chunk to this Metagross. Well, look at that damage. That is the power of a critical hit and Life Orb. So, that's decent damage, though. I'm going to go for it again, hoping to KO, and I do indeed take out the Metagross after it gets some damage off on me. Thankfully, it did not have Zen Headbutt or another Psychic move, and I'm able to take it out. And, that's pretty awesome for me. Although this Hitmonchan did take more than half of that damage from that move, so it's, it didn't take it too good. I think he went for the Bullet Punch. I don't know if he would have outsped otherwise. Maybe he wouldn't have, that's why he went for it, and not a Zen Headbutt. I don't know. Regardless, he goes out into Ninetales, which you might remember from last battle when he brought the Sun team, and he's just going to Fire Blast, and I have nothing to take Fire Blast. In fact, looking at my team, I noticed before the battle even started, I had 3 Pokemon weak to Fire and 4 weak to Ice, due to getting, I think, 2 Grass types. As well as, I got 2 Grass types and 2 Flying types. Sorry, 3 Flying types. One of them was a Grass Flyer, so they overlap. But yeah, regardless, I'm like, Honchkrow, please live a Fire Blast and just take it out. And that's what happens. I guess I could have tried to go for the Sucker Punch, but I don't think Sucker Punch would have killed. So that's why I decided to go to the Brave Bird. We do get both taken out by that, however. And then I go into Tropius, and this thing carries Ice Punch, and I'm like, well, fuck. Because like I said, for my Pokemon. In fact, everything but this Mismagius right now that I had was weak to Ice, which is not good. So I go for the stabbed super effective Shadow Ball, but he also has a Ghost move, so I lose Mismagius, which is not really good. And I go into another Grass type, Trevenant, which is also a Ghost type, so he could just use that Shadow Punch again. I make somewhat of a mistake here and go for the Will-O-Wisp. I really should have just killed this thing, actually, in hindsight. Damn you, hindsight, because I mean, you're going to see in a minute, unless, that was, like, the burn mattered, Hornleech definitely KOs, so that was pretty much a mistake on my part. It, lets him do some, I don't know, I guess a quarter damage to my Trevenant after, the, recovery from Hornleech. Not great. He's going to go ahead and Toxic me, which is good, because Trevenant is somewhat of a bulky Pokemon. I go for the Confuse Ray. I maybe should have went for Toxic instead. I did have Toxic, I think. Oh no, Leech Seed. I had Leech Seed on this. I should have went for the Leech Seed, maybe. Regardless, I figure, Confusion, it's going to happen once, right? It's going to he's gonna hurt himself eventually, and not that time. So, yeah, he takes out Trevion. I have my last Pokemon left, a Beautifly, and I'm like, well, let's see what you can do, you little bug thing. I go for the Quiver Dance, which is a horrifically broken move. I just need him to hurt himself once, I think, in order to get a chance to get a sweep on his team. He has 3 Pokemon left, including a Jirachi. So yeah, there's that, and I just don't know. I go for the second Quiver Dance, so I just need 1 hit. Come on, he went for the Toxic for some reason, which I guess limits the amount of turns I can stay in. And I just have to hope that he hurts himself, but he doesn't, and he gets off the foul play. I'm like, Confusion, can you even hit once? I swear, every time I get confused, I always hit myself every turn, but, when the opponent's confused, never happens. I go for the Bug Buzz, take out the Umbreon, but at this point, factoring in this Toxic, I don't have enough turns left to sweep. He ends up going into Jirachi, which I didn't know if 2 was enough to kill in the first place to, what's it called? 2 Quiver Dances, but there you go. Apparently it was, but unfortunately he has 1 Mon left that I was not able to kill with the gosh darn Beautifly. What was it? I forget what it was. It was, he used it earlier, I think. It was the, Lucario, which I guess the move I had to hit it with was Psychic, which isn't stabbed, but it took out Jirachi, so I kind of feel confident that it might have been able to take out the Lucario too, but oh well. As always, roulettes are completely lolsy. I'm not even mad, really. Nice to see a Pokemon like Beautifly do some work there at the end, and it was a good match overall, so good game, Swankle. Today's question of the day is, what is your favorite setup move? Obviously, the one I use, Quiver Dance, is horrendously broken. It's basically a Calm Mind combined with... It's like a Dragon Dance Calm Mind. I mean, it doesn't give you the attack, but it's like Dragon Dance would be if it gave you defense. Just for special. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely horrendous. One of the best setup moves ever, but I still have to go with the classic Dragon Dance. Love me some Dragon Dance Gyarados. One of my favorite Pokemon, competitively speaking, of all time. But yeah, leave a comment about it. But your favorite setup move, any move that increases your stats. And yeah, leave a comment about that, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye.